Have you ever wondered what a wild animal thinks when a human walks toward it? Not after it's rescued, but in that first terrifying moment. Most people believe the animal somehow knows it's being helped. Science suggests something very different. To a wild animal, a human is rarely seen as a rescuer. We are seen as a possible predator, and that reaction doesn't always come from experience. Many species respond to humans with fear the very first time they encounter one. Their brains are built to detect danger long before they can understand intentions. Think about life in the wild. One wrong decision can be fatal. If an animal hesitates in front of a predator, it may never get another chance. Natural selection rewards caution, not trust. That is why wild animals constantly scan their surroundings. Every sound, every movement, every approaching shape, their brains are always asking the same question: is this a threat? And when the answer might be yes, the body reacts instantly. Long before conscious thought, stress hormones surge, the heart races, breathing becomes faster. Muscles prepare for either escape or a desperate fight. This survival system exists across countless animal species because it has kept them alive for millions of years. Now imagine something even worse. The animal can't run. Its leg is trapped. Its wing is tangled. Its body is caught in a net. At that moment, the brain shifts into survival mode completely. Nothing matters except getting free. Not hunger, not curiosity, not even pain, only escape. Wildlife veterinarians often describe trapped animals as being overwhelmed by fear. Some thrash violently, others freeze completely. Both are normal survival responses. Because from the animal's point of view, death could be only seconds away. Then something happens. A human begins walking closer, closer, and closer. To us, it looks like the rescue has finally arrived. But inside the animal's mind, something entirely different may be happening. Everything about the human's approach confirms the animal's worst fear. The distance is closing. There is no escape. The threat is getting bigger. For many animals, this is the final stage of a predator encounter. So they fight harder, or they freeze completely. Neither reaction is a choice. It is biology. Scientists call this the fight, flight, or freeze response. It is controlled by ancient brain circuits that react far faster than conscious thinking. Once activated, the body pours its energy into survival. Nothing else matters. This is why wildlife rescuers are trained to stay calm. They move slowly. They avoid sudden movements. They keep their voices low, because every quick motion can make the animal believe an attack has begun. Yet something remarkable has been reported in rescues around the world. Sometimes, the panic suddenly stops, not because the animal has given up, and not because it has lost all its strength. The change looks different. The body begins to relax. The frantic struggling slows. The animal starts watching the human instead of fighting. Researchers have observed this shift in several rescue situations. The exact reason is still debated. One idea is surprisingly simple. The human never behaves like a hunting predator. A predator usually rushes toward its target. It grabs, it chases, it attacks. A rescuer does the opposite. They kneel, they move carefully. Instead of grabbing the animal, they work on the rope, the wire, the trap. The brain searches for a familiar danger pattern, but sometimes it cannot find one. And for a brief moment, the fear response begins to weaken. One of the most famous examples happened in the ocean. In 2005, off the coast of California, a massive humpback whale became tangled in heavy fishing gear. The ropes wrapped around her mouth, her fins, and her tail. The weight made every breath a struggle. A rescue team entered the water carrying knives. No one knew what would happen next. A single swing of the whale's tail could easily kill a diver. Instead, the whale did something no one expected. As the divers swam closer, the whale stopped struggling. She remained almost perfectly still, not for a few seconds, for more than an hour, while the team carefully cut away the ropes. Even more surprising, she appeared to help. When the divers needed better access, she slowly turned her body. She lifted a fin. She changed her position without sudden movements. The rescue became safer for everyone in the water. The event was witnessed by the rescue team and later described in reports and news coverage. But one question has never gone away. Why did she stay calm? Scientists are careful not to jump to conclusions. There is no way to ask the whale what she was thinking. Instead, researchers focus on what they can measure: behavior, movement, and patterns. One possibility is that the whale recognized something unusual. Nothing about the divers matched the behavior of an attacking predator. They moved slowly. They stayed focused on the ropes, not on the whale herself. The expected attack never came. So the brain may have paused its automatic threat response, not because the whale understood everything, but because the situation no longer fit any familiar danger pattern. Marine mammals also possess remarkably complex brains. Humpback whales belong to a group of species known for advanced social behavior, long-term memory, and cooperative living. Studies have found specialized brain cells called von Economo neurons in whales. These neurons are also found in humans, great apes, and elephants. Scientists believe they play a role in rapid social awareness and complex decision-making, although their exact function is still being studied. Then there are elephants. Their rescue stories reveal another piece of the puzzle. In wildlife reserves across Africa and Asia, young elephants sometimes become trapped in deep mud. Without help, many would die from exhaustion or dehydration. When rescue teams finally pull them free, some immediately run back to their families. But others do something unexpected first. They walk toward the very people who rescued them. Then comes the moment that researchers find hardest to explain. The elephant doesn't run away. It reaches out, slowly, with its trunk, and gently touches the person standing beside it. At first, that may not sound unusual, but an elephant's trunk is far more than a nose. It is one of the most sensitive organs in the animal kingdom. It contains thousands of powerful muscle bundles and an extraordinary number of nerve endings. Elephants use it to explore the world, to recognize family members, to comfort one another, and even to investigate the bones of elephants that died years earlier. A careful touch is rarely meaningless. Researchers who work in elephant conservation have documented cases where rescued elephants keep their trunks resting on a rescuer's hand or arm for several seconds before quietly walking away. No one can say exactly what the animal is experiencing, but the behavior is deliberate, not random. Elephants are also among the most intelligent mammals on Earth. They recognize themselves in mirrors. They remember places and individuals for many years. They form deep family bonds. And they have been observed showing behaviors that resemble mourning after the death of another elephant. These abilities suggest that elephants can distinguish between different kinds of social interactions. That does not prove they feel gratitude. Science has not reached that conclusion. But it does tell us something important. Their minds are capable of far more than simple instinct. The same mystery appears in other animals. Wildlife researchers have reported wolves becoming calm after being freed from traps. Sea turtles have been seen swimming peacefully beside rescue boats after fishing lines were removed. Large birds of prey sometimes remain still while injured wings are carefully untangled. Every species behaves differently, but the question remains the same. Why do some wild animals stop seeing humans as immediate threats, even if only for a few moments? The answer may be more complicated than anyone expected, and scientists are only beginning to understand it. So, do wild animals know when a human is trying to help them? The most honest answer is, we don't know. Not yet. Science can measure heart rate, stress hormones, brain activity, and behavior, but it cannot tell us exactly what an animal experiences from the inside. That remains one of biology's greatest mysteries. What researchers do know is this: many wild animals can adjust their behavior when a situation changes. If a human approaches without chasing, without attacking, and without causing more harm, some animals gradually reduce their defensive responses. That change has been observed in species as different as whales, elephants, primates, birds, and large mammals. But reducing fear is not the same as understanding kindness. Those are two very different things. Scientists are careful not to confuse them. Words like gratitude, love, or thankfulness sound meaningful, but they describe inner feelings that cannot be directly measured in wild animals. That is why researchers focus on evidence instead of assumptions. Still, some rescue stories leave even experienced scientists wondering. A whale that circles back after being freed. An elephant that pauses for one last gentle touch. A wolf that watches quietly before disappearing into the forest. Were these simply natural behaviors, or was something deeper happening? Right now, no one can say with certainty. As new technologies improve, researchers are learning more about animal minds than ever before. Brain imaging, long-term field studies, behavioral tracking, and advances in animal cognition are helping answer questions that once seemed impossible. With every discovery, the line between human intelligence and animal intelligence becomes a little less clear. Perhaps the greatest lesson is not that animals think exactly like us. They almost certainly do not. The real lesson is that every wild animal has its own way of experiencing the world. A world shaped by survival, memory, relationships, and decisions we are only beginning to understand. Maybe one day, science will fully answer what a rescued animal is thinking. Until then, the greatest mystery is not whether they understand us. It may be how little we still understand them.